Welcome to the University of the West of England. In the next 20 minutes, I'd like to introduce you to the Students' Union. The video is going to take you through the various different facilities and services we offer on the different sites to make life at the university as easy as possible. As members of the union, it's possible to get involved in all sorts of different things, from being a campaign coordinator to an entertainment crew member or a member of Student Community Action. Students often don't realise the sort of work that the Students' Union does because so much of it is done behind the scenes, but we desperately rely on you to become involved in our activities. Your input in the union can win results, so your participation is essential.
Welfare, what does that mean? To most people it seems to mean the welfare state, or to put it more simply, the NHS and the dole. So what does it mean to USU, this welfare thing? Well, we're certainly not a dole office, and we're certainly not a hospital, so it must be something else. Welfare at USU is the one in the middle of the Education and Welfare and Information Department. Education speaks for itself elsewhere on this video. The information bit doesn't need to speak for itself because everyone knows what information is, and the welfare bit is everything else. A lot of it is giving advice, answering questions like, where's my grant cheque? How do I get a loan? What do I do if my landlord throws me out? Why can't I get into halls? Who's a good solicitor? And where can I find a babysitter? We've got the information to answer these questions and many more, and if we can't answer them, we know someone who can. But there's more. The welfare officer is responsible for making sure the union's childcare services are managed properly. What childcare services? Well, there's the union's Halley Nursery based at St Matthias, which offers over half the available nursery places at the university. And there's the half-term play schemes to school-aged children. We train students in play scheme work so they can become volunteers and then paid workers if they like the job and the children like them. Talking of volunteers, there's Student Community Action, SCA to its friends, another area which the welfare officer is responsible for, but someone else is going to tell you all about that. Then there's the stuff that no one ever sees. As in many other areas of the union's work, looking after students' welfare means talking to the university. We attempt to make sure that the students' health, safety and general welfare are always uppermost in the directors' minds, even if it means making them spend money they don't want to spend. Well, that's about all I've got time to tell you about now. If you want to know more, get in touch with the EWI department or look out for our leaflets and get involved. It's your union, use it or lose it.
The University West of England has over 75 clubs and societies on offer to you this year, all of which will be represented at the Freshers' Fair. You'll find it well worthwhile spending a couple of hours walking around and talking to the various clubs and finding out what they do. They're always touting for members. You'll find that each club has its own particular way for socialising. Some spend 3 nights at the pub, others spend 5. There are a great range of sporting clubs, from rugby, netball, football and hockey, to the more obscure of hang gliding, fell walking, parachuting and martial arts. There's something for everyone, so don't worry if you're not particularly sporty. You can join another society, such as a religious or political group, or even make your own. I think it's quite important to get involved with the clubs and societies. You'll find it's always good socialising with people who have a common interest. You could also undertake some of the running of the club. They're all student run and take an awful lot of organising, so help is always appreciated. And remember, it always looks good on your CV. The message is clear. Meet the societies at the Freshers' Fair and get involved.
Fighting for students' rights. Now this may be a bit of an old cliche, but here at UWE we still feel it's important to campaign on issues brought up by our students. Financial support, education funding, childcare, a new sports hall or library facilities are all examples of the important work that is done by the campaigns department in the Student Union. Campaigns are usually set at the beginning of each year, but these can change as students become concerned with specific issues. If you as a group of people want to see some changes in student life, either nationally or locally, then the campaigns office is the place to come. Campaigning is not all about chanting and marching. At UWE it's just as likely to include stalls at festivals, garden parties and one-to-one lobbying of MPs. However, without your participation we will not be successful. The most important thing to remember whilst you're at UWE is that the Students' Union is controlled by you. If you're not happy with the price of beer, then it's up to you to make a stand about it, and we're here to make that as easy as possible. One slogan that I've always remembered is, if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem.